Hello, I'm Elizabeth Webb, and today let's quit caffeine, or at least minimize it. As your yoga lifestyle coach, we'll be using the breath of fire in place of caffeine. So whenever you need a little perk me up, think about doing something that's more natural, that comes from within you. Instead of reaching for a cup of coffee, try the breath of fire. So in the Sanskrit language, breath of fire is kapakabali. So try doing kapakabali instead of having a cup of coffee. So when we do this particular breath work, we want to think about breathing in and out at equal breaths. When we have our breath in equal lengths, it keeps the body balanced. And this breath of fire has so many wonderful benefits. It's great for the nervous system. If you're tired, it can kind of give you a little boost, just like, coffee gives you that little boost. And I know it's okay, to have maybe a half a cup or maybe 1 cup of coffee a day. I don't subscribe to that. But I heard there's research out there, and scientists have proven that it's okay for us. But if you're going to do that, I'm going to suggest drinking water, because for every cup of coffee that you have, it creates acidity in the body. So you want to replenish that with some water that would alkalize the body. And you can refer to my show on digestion, where we talk about things like that, and I bring a little bit of the breath of fire into that show. And with the other benefits is if there's any problems with the liver, it's very helpful for the liver. It cleans the blood, and it's just an overall natural stimulant. It gets us in touch with that intuitive space within us. And when we think about doing the breath of fire, to begin, it's a good idea to count your breaths and just try doing 30 of them. And that way that has a calming effect on the mind as well, because then you're focusing by counting your breaths. And breath of fire, so contraindications for the breath of fire would be if you have high blood pressure, heart or lung disease, vertigo, epilepsy, stroke, hernia, or ulcers. If you have any of those contraindications, then this show is not for you. But if you feel that you're in good health and maybe you want to verify with your doctor that it's okay to do this, your doctor might not even know what this is, because it's 5,000 years old and it has a good history. And if something's been going on for 5,000 years, wouldn't you think it's pretty good if it's lasted that long? Okay, so let's jump right in here, and you can sit in any position that's comfortable for you, whether you're sitting cross-legged or sitting up on a chair or maybe lying face down. And you can also do this breath work inside of some yoga poses, which I'll share with you later. That comes from my first episode. And so when we think about doing the breath of fire, we can try to do it for 1 minute, or like I said, at least 30 pumps. And we think about doing it within rounds as well. And another contraindication, if you're on meds, if you're taking medication, if you do this breath work 3 rounds for 3 minutes each time, it has a detoxifying benefit. So if you're on meds and you don't really want those detoxified from your system, just don't do 3 sets of 3 minutes each time. I would suggest 1 minute 3 different times, and then you should be safe. But let's say that you're healthy and you're vibrant and you want a little bit more vitality, and you know doing a cleanse would be really good for you. Yeah, then do 3 minutes 3 different times and get the benefit of detoxifying, but by purifying your body. In fact, I'll be doing another show in the future, and we'll take all the purifying breaths and we'll bring them together as one show. So yes, this can be a purifying breath. Okay, what is the breath of fire? How do you do it? It's kind of hard to do. You need good core strength to be able to do it appropriately. If you don't have good, strong abdominal muscles, do the breath of fire. It'll strengthen your belly muscles. Yeah, breath work, strong abs. All right. So the easiest way to learn this, of course we do it with our mouth closed, but the easiest way to learn the breath of fire is to do it with your mouth open. And a good point of reference for me to give you is to think of a dog. When a dog pants, what does that look like? Okay, so I've been doing this work for a couple decades. So of course my abdominal muscles are strong and I'm able to do it very fast and forcefully. But now let me teach it to you as a beginner. And if you've been doing the breath of fire and you want to do it along with me, please do it at your own pace. But just try to have your own pace become your rhythm, whatever that is for you. All right? So let's think about, just take a deep breath in, and then feel the abdominal muscles abruptly, fast, come in. And then let the belly relax outward. So we're focusing on the exhale, and then let the inhale happen. So we're forcing the exhalations. You know, normally when we think about breath work within yoga, we're always thinking about, I don't like the word force, but we're always thinking about forcing the inhalation and then kind of relax for the exhale. So this breath of fire comes from the Kundalini type of the style, Kundalini style of yoga. So what that means is we're putting forth some force within our practice, within this breath work. And we're putting the force on the exhalations. So let's try that again. Take a deep breath in, think about your abdominal muscles, and then relax for the in-breath. Think about the exhale. Can you see my belly muscles coming in for the exhale, going out for the inhale? Okay, so hopefully you get a little bit of an understanding on that. You've practiced a little bit with me. You're aware that we're forcing the exhalation, and it's very important to wait for that in-breath to come into the body, force the exhalation, Wait for the in-breath, because if we do this inappropriately, it would look wrong like this. And then we don't have any more air, and then we breathe in. So no, 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 it's not exhale, exhale, exhale. And then a big inhalation. No, no, be warned that it's inhale, exhale. All right? All right, let's jump right in and let's begin with our first round. We're going to do this for 1 minute. And let's begin. Thank you. So take a deep breath in. Now after doing that for 1 minute and then taking another deep breath in and out, woo! If you're feeling a little lightheaded or like you gave yourself a little high, welcome to the world of yoga. So a natural high, but no, literally. If you're feeling a little woozy or a little dizzy after only doing that for 1 minute, well, then what I would say as a yoga therapist, that probably means that either you weren't taking enough air in and pushing it out forcefully enough, or you were doing a wonderful job at it and you detoxified yourself. And anytime we detoxify our body, we feel the effects of lightheadedness, a little dizziness. When we clean ourselves out, yes, we get a little lighter. All right, so now that we've caught our breath, we're going to do another round. So let's begin. Keep going, don't stop. Turn your eyes upward. Make sure your eyes are pointing up towards your pituitary gland. That gland that is right in the middle of our head. Because the other word for this is skull shining. And if we're literally shining our skull, take a deep breath in. Equalize the breath. Yes, because if we're literally shining our skull, then we're getting that benefit of tapping into our intuition. We're getting the benefit of our enlightenment by opening the crown chakra. Make sure you're taking deep breaths in between these rounds. We have just one more round to do, and then this would finish up that first set. Okay, let's begin. Keep going. If this is comfortable for you, your eyes are closed by now. You don't have to look at the TV screen anymore. And you can close your eyes on this last round. Push your eyes upward so you're looking at that pituitary, or you can think about looking at like your third eye area, or just imagine you're looking at the inside of the top of your forehead. Find a rhythm that's working for you. You don't have to keep pace with my rhythm. Find your own rhythm that you're able to connect with and that you're able to stay. So if your abdominal muscles are strong, you might be doing it fast. If not, it's a slower pace. So we did 3 rounds, and we could call that 1 set. And we can do 2 more sets of this. All right, and you can do this breath of fire at any time. I do this in the car often. When I'm cooking in the kitchen, I'll be doing the breath of fire. Anytime I need a little pick-me-up, I'm doing the breath of fire. And you can do this in the bathroom. Like when I wake up in the morning, and you know, the first thing we all do, I know, is we brush our teeth. And then after we're done brushing our teeth, I like to do the neti pot. Hey, someday we'll have to have a show on the neti pot. And then after the neti pot, I'm definitely doing the breath of fire, you know, just to make sure I've gotten all of the water out of the sinuses. And so anytime you think of having a cup of coffee, try doing a cup of gabali instead. Doing this breath work can be done inside of some yoga poses. So let's tune in to episode 1, where I'm demonstrating how to do yoga poses. But as you do these yoga poses, do the breath of fire while you're watching along. One leg straight out in front of us. And in yoga, when we think about extending a leg, we want to think about the sit bones. Let's make sure that we're pulling the flesh away from the sit bones, lifting the sternum away from the pubic bone, engaging the muscles to make that happen in the abdomen. Press the heel away from the sit bones, going back. The heel is going forward. Squeeze the thigh muscles. Make sure that you cannot move your patella, your kneecap. That means your thigh muscles are nice and strong and supporting your knees. Yoga is so good to prevent any knee damage. Inhale. And let's use the abdominal muscles, and let's turn the sternum towards the knee, and let's think about extending the chest further than our knee. So we can reach maybe behind the knee if we have to. Maybe we can reach. So don't just fall and fold at your spine. Don't do this. Think about the strength. Keep the abdominal muscles working. So use the abdominal muscles to help with the lift and fold. And then the foot doesn't have to be held. You can take 2 fingers, wrap 2 fingers around your big toe. Otherwise, find what's comfortable. We want a little bit of a challenge, but yet we want to feel as though not totally, we're going to relax later. So don't think about relaxing just yet in this pose. I'd like to see a little bit of effort. Take a deep breath in. And let's come up and let's do that same thing on the other leg. If we want to add a little bit of a challenge, let's lift the arms up and reach. Remember, don't fall forward. Extend and reach, almost as though your tailbone is behind you. Think about your spine ending. Oh, I got a ponytail. Think about your spine ending right at the base, at the top of your head. Inhale, notice how the belly has to lift the body up. Exhale, and feel yourself lengthen. Reach a little bit more. Are you squeezing your thigh muscle? Make sure that patella bone can't be moved. Stay here, one more breath. And then come up with an inhalation. And let's take 2 legs, bending the knees. And I really like to think about the abdominal muscles for the entire time that I'm focused on my yoga practice. And this is a great one that you can actually feel the belly muscles working. So again, that sternum away from the pubic bone. Think about the strength in the belly, making that happen. So notice I've leaned back just enough to feel the belly engage. And hold behind the legs. Take one leg and press it straight. Take the other leg and press it straight. Let's come back. And let's press the other leg straight. And for a challenge, let's see if we can add in the other leg. And for this particular boat pose, I would like to see you stay on your sit bones. Don't roll off your sit bones. That uses a whole different way of using the abdominal muscles. Keep yourself challenged by using the rectus abdominis, that transverse abdominis. Use those belly muscles to be in this pose so that the leg muscles are helping you be in the pose. Okay? And then from here, we're actually going to just roll right onto our back. So take a deep breath in. Now we're going to round for our spinal rocks. We're going to round the spine. Inhale on the way up. Exhale on the way back. Round, back, and come up. Let's do that one more time. Now, this next pose might be a little bit challenging for some of us, might not be for some others, is to take that last spinal roll and come up. If you're familiar with the shoulder stand, stay in the shoulder stand. Keep your hips up. If that seems a little bit too challenging, let's try the bridge. In the bridge, again, we want the belly muscles to do the work in this pose. Let's bring the shoulders back and down. Let's reach the fingertips towards our feet. Press the arms into the floor. And let's pivot the hips. Feel the belly strong. Tailbone is lifting. Sacrum is lifting. And now, vertebrae after vertebrae lifts, pressing the feet firmly down into the ground. Think about your knees and press your knees away from you so that the belly continues to work. Lift yourself up as hard as high. Remember, I said we'll relax later. Lift yourself up as high as you can. Taking the knees away and the sternum towards your chin. Keep the belly working. Keep the abdominal muscles nice and close to the spine. Continue on the focus of the breath. Deep breath in. Let's take 2 to 5 breaths to slowly, otherwise you're still in the shoulder stand. Come down onto your ground. And if you are in the shoulder stand, slowly coming out of the pose, and I'll show you what that'll look like if you are up in the shoulder stand. Coming out nice and slow. You can drop your legs, hold on to the hips, and slowly lower yourself down. And let's just take 2 breaths just to rest. Now join me to do 3 sets, well, 1 set, and 3 rounds. And each round would be 3 minutes long. So let's do a 3-minute round 3 different times. Take a deep breath in. And before we start this next round, make sure you're applying Mula Bandha, the root lock. And let's begin. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath in. 3 nice big deep breaths in. Make sure your body is equalized. Having done a whole set of 3 minutes, 3 different times, that's quite aggressive. If you want to be even more aggressive, rewind. If this is a video that you're watching, rewind and do this one set of 3 rounds 2 more times. If you really want to do a aggressive detoxification. And if you're watching this as a TV show, then you could look for this to watch it again, either at Watertown TV or at Assisted Yoga, our sponsor. Pull it up and watch this episode for as often as you would like to bring more purification into your life. Namaste.